Good morning, friends.
Good morning.
Welcome to Coffee Talk. I always pause right there because I think that maybe you all are going to say good morning, but then I go around and I say good morning to everyone. I gotta figure out a better transition there. Good morning, Coffee Talk Nation. No, that doesn't work either. Nation. Coffee Talk Town. Let's get back on track here. We are Southborough Youth and Family Services. My name is Sarah Castle. I am the Director of Southborough Youth and Family Services. And this is really cool because today, we are missing Lisa. Lisa is our graduate intern that's with us this year. But today we're featuring all 4 Southborough Youth and Family Services employees. So I also have with me today Megan Island, who's our assistant director. Good morning, Megan.
Morning.
We have Shannon Knyman, who is our program coordinator. Good morning, Shannon.
Morning.
And also, we're so excited to welcome Christina Mccarthy. Christina is our administrative assistant, but she happens to be this amazing certified precision nutrition coach also. And so we invited Christina to come on today's show to talk to us about the role that nutrition plays in supporting our mental health. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Oh, thank you. You too. Let's all toast. Let's start our day with a coffee talk toast. Good morning. So Megan, you're like, don't talk about how my morning's been. Megan was just sharing that she's had an interesting morning already because of her cats. And I was going to chime in that I also I'm very tired this morning. I have 2 new kittens at home. They're getting a little older now, so they're like 4 months old. But they're like complete maniacs at night. I think cats are nocturnal, right? Are they? I don't know. These ones seem to
They're
be.
supposed to be.
Yeah. But it's complete pandemonium. You would think that we'd have like 10 cats the way these 2 tussle at night. And they're usually, like on top of us. We're all trying to sleep, and they, we've got baby gates that don't stop them, and it's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, I'm very tired as a result because I've had, minimal sleep because of crazy kittens. And so Megan's also had to take care of her cats early this morning. Has kind of put in a wrench in her morning plans. How's everybody else's morning going? Everyone else good?
Yeah, no cat issues here.
No cat issues there.
No.
And Christina's allergic to cats, but
No
you have
cats.
a dog, right?
I do.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
Who's
a
sometimes
basset hound.
nocturnal. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's
So
great.
he likes to wander from room to room at night, which is
Oh,
fun.
nice. That's great. That's great.
Hmm.
Did anybody have anything exciting happen this weekend?
No, pretty low key.
I'm going to share something about myself and our family that I've talked about a lot to you all, and you're like, can you stop? But we are, maybe I shouldn't say this because we're in Patriots Nation, but
It's fine.
our family roots for the Buffalo Bills, and they made the playoffs this year, and they won their first playoff game since 1995. So for 25 years, they've been without a playoff win. So there was much celebration in my house this weekend, which was great. It was kind of nice to have, I think, Christina, you said this to me yesterday. It's nice to have something to look forward to and
Sure.
excited about because, when you can't go many places right now, it is nice to have that. So
Yeah, to root for your team.
yes, I don't know if I can withstand weekend after weekend of this, though. They have another playoff game this weekend, and I don't wish that they lose, but it'll be kind of like a relief to not be like for a whole day. So anyway, so go Bills. We'll see what happens this weekend. So we're here today to talk about nutrition. As I mentioned, Christina is a certified precision nutrition coach. And I guess maybe before we start that conversation, do you want to tell us a little bit about your background? I'm going off script here a little bit. But
Sure.
what does that, I'm curious what that means, being a certified precision
Yeah.
coach.
So it was about, I would say almost 3 years ago that my husband and I started working with a nutrition coach just to kind of get a couple of things under control that we were lacking. Part of it was discipline. Some of it was just knowledge of like, what do we eat? We were both really into fitness. So we had some performance goals that we wanted. I kind of felt sluggish halfway through the day, and I knew that there could be improvements. So after about 2 years with that coach on and off, I decided why not look into it. So there is a certification program. It's Precision Nutrition, and they have this great certification process where you get to be part of this community and rely on one another to learn together, take these workshops, read a lot, use these study books to one, teach you about the basics of nutrition, the building blocks of everything, and how the science behind it, and also how to coach to individual needs depending on the person's lifestyle, depending on any allergies or what their goals are. So overall, nutrition is something that everyone needs. Everyone has their own individual goals. So the precision program was just a really nice fit into something I was interested in, and a possible way to either make money or just help my family and friends with some questions that they had.
That's great.
So,
Great. Thank you.
Can we start off by talking about what the difference between healthy and nutritious is?
yes. So healthy can be kind of this loaded question and often tied to body image. And it has this kind of stigma around it. Could be appearance of someone thinks, oh, they look healthy or they don't look healthy. And that's just not really a fair thing to assume from someone. And nutrition or nutritious is just basically foods that are good for your body and in turn are good for your brains. So there's definitely a difference there, whether food is healthy or nutritious.
I love that you highlighted that there's a stigma attached to the word healthy. You know, I remember part of our conversation in preparation for today was around the stress related to the word healthy, and or you know, there can be a lot of stress associated with this conversation and pressure, and not knowing what's the right information. There's so many different opinions, and so thank you for highlighting that.
I'm kind of going along with that. Another probably loaded word is diet.
For sure.
Yeah, what do you think about that one?
So diet by definition just means the sum of the foods that you eat or an organism eats. So it is often associated with weight management, and the word diet doesn't mean that. So it can really be associated with negativity or these gimmicky, limiting, restrictive means of food consumption. But it doesn't, by definition, really mean that.
All right. So what do you think, you know, I know we were kind of walking into today's episode with the plan not to talk about, not to push a particular diet or plan on anybody. We're not here to talk about what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, how, when, all of that. But like many things, I'm sure there are some basic fundamentals of what good nutrition does look like, that no matter what you ascribe to or what advice you take, that there's some truths that
For
exist
sure.
across the board.
Yeah, I think like anything else that you need, it's about balance. Some people tend to go to the extremes with things, and that might not be sustainable. So good nutrition is just including a well-balanced diet. The building blocks of nutrition are macronutrients, and those are carbs, proteins, and fats. And just adding nutrient-dense foods to your diet can be really helpful, and just making choices that are what might be simple, including lots of water, lots of fruits and vegetables, and having balance in what you eat. If you are too restrictive, there can definitely be some mental pitfalls in it, and punishing yourself for thinking that you have to do something a certain way, where it really is just fueling your body.
I think, sorry to jump in, when I think of nutrition and the role it plays in mental health, I think literally it's about feeding your body so that it helps your mental health biologically, but also, that was part of our conversation too, was about that addressing nutrition can be stressful, and the body image part that you're talking about, that there's shame associated with it too. I forget where I'm going with this, but I just think that that plays a big role in this conversation for sure.
So how is it that, having those micronutrients in your diet, how does that affect your health, and particularly your brain health?
Yeah, so if you want to think of your body and your brain as a car, and that it needs good fuel in order to function. So if you put in premium fuel or premium foods, and I like to associate those with nutrient dense foods. So not really considering the calorie count or how many grams of each macronutrient are in a serving. You're just going to go off of fueling your body with foods that make you feel and run your best. So if you choose to drink lots of soda, there's a lot of sugar in that can make you feel sluggish. So by drinking water, having lots of fruits and vegetables into your diet, some lean proteins, then you'll be able to see increased energy. You'll be able to sleep better at night by not having tons and tons of sugar in your body. But it's more of consider your body as a car, and your brain and body need the proper fuel in order to function properly. And you'll see this affect your energy and your mood for sure, your sleep. And also you can find out different performance if you're into athletics by choosing the more nutrient dense food option than something that might be quick and easy and kind of that grab and go labeled health snack bar versus an apple. Making those choices, being mindful of how is this going to affect my energy, or how does this fuel my body?
It sounds like change of mindset is helpful here, because I feel like, we've heard that statement before, food is fuel, but I don't think a lot of us behave that way. I personally can relate to using food as a, that's a whole other conversation, but food as a stress reliever, or it's, plays a role in a lot of social situations. And so, I think that if we're trying to set nutrition goals, that maybe a good first step, or at least an essential step somewhere in there, is about changing your mindset around how you view food.
100%.
Yeah. Not easy to do, but
right.
And like anything new, it kind of takes time and training yourself, little steps. can kind of get you there. If someone doesn't eat breakfast in the morning and then they realize, the end of the day, they're consuming a lot. It's like, just start your day a little bit earlier, start your energy intake a little bit earlier and see how that affects you.
Megan, you often say things about nutrition and the work that you do, as part of supporting people's mental health.
Yeah, because I think it falls under, like Christina was saying, how it can connect to sleep and especially your mood. And there are studies that show how much it can impact things, those types of things, and how it can impact your mental health. Nutrition plays a key role in the onset and severity of depression. It's also been shown to have an impact on the hippocampal volume in older adults who sometimes, for a variety of reasons, may sometimes neglect their nutrition.
Yeah.
Additionally, there have been studies done by the Academy of Pediatrics who did studies for ADHD, and they've found that fast food and sugar consumption has had an impact on ADHD. So those are just a couple different points that touch on different things that highlight the impact that nutrition can have, and what you're putting into your body can have an impact on your mental health. And I think that just shows how important it is to be cognizant of what you're eating, what you're putting into your body, and then how it impacts your mental well-being and your mood. And then I think it all connects to sleep, level of energy, and it all works together.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And our brains are like these cool little chemistry sets that have so many, hormones and so many chemicals and so many that make it function. And your food ends up being like the second set of the chemistry set, and what you put in there really plays off of, some of the things really build it and make it strong and healthy, and other things take it away. So yep, that's really exciting. So I guess my question would be, I'm just asking this for the sake of conversation, but it would be remiss for someone to be listening and say, okay, well, this is very inspiring, so I am going to fix my mental health by eating nutritious foods. What do you think about that, Sarah?
Well, I think no, but that's one very important piece of it. When I was thinking about today's episode, I thought, let this be a commercial at the very least to try to inspire people to to pay attention to nutrition as an important key element here. I think, Megan and I often, when we're starting to support a person's mental health through counseling, we ask questions about how much exercise are you getting? We know exercise really helps with mental health. Sleep, how much sleep are you getting? But I think that we know eating healthy is a good idea, but do we really appreciate just how important it is for mental health? And so it's one element that, maybe often is overlooked and is really a critical piece in, I love that, we're talking about it being fuel for your body. We really need to pay attention to it because it is what we're feeding our bodies and what we're feeding our brains. And if you want to be able to function at your best, that is one thing that we need to be really paying close attention to.
Yeah, and it's a quick, easy way to start feeling better if you're feeling off, if you're feeling depressed, if you're having anxiety, that, you guys, again, one of the first things that you talk to people about is, what's your activity level look like? What is your diet look like?
Right.
How is your sleep? Just those three such basic things. And, like you're saying, the short answer, no. Can you fix your mental health issues with just a good night's sleep and a salad? Probably not. But are you walking in the direction of feeling better?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Speaking of that, if I did want to start making that change and being mindful of my nutrition, how could I make that happen, Christina?
So it's kind of a two-part answer. First, I would steer clear of any fads, any quick fixes, anything that is restrictive or removing entire food groups or types of food. You can really just
Did you say, you said fad? I thought you
fad.
said fats.
No.
Yes, right. I wanted to make sure that that was clear because I was thinking that. I think she said fad.
Fad.
Yes.
No,
Thank you. Thank you.
I eat spoonfuls of peanut butter from the jar. So that helps my mental health, I swear.
I'm sure.
So any fads, anything that you hear are quick fixes, are less likely to be sustainable. I think many people have tried something where they've removed something from their diet, whether that is going keto and removing all carbs or very, very limited carbs, or increasing their carb intake or something and having absolutely no fats in your diet. Anything like that, kind of going back to what are the basics is balance. So I would say that start thinking about what your body needs and what you can do to kind of set yourself up for this sustainability is a good first step. Next, I am personally an advocate of planning and prepping, and I find that really helpful to one, to know what I'm going to be eating and doing for the week, because if I come home from work or there's something going on and I'm busy running around and it's the end of the day, and you're like, oh my gosh, now I have to cook dinner. It's just so much easier to get takeout. Or we're really busy, we're just going to grab pizza for home. And that's totally fine. But if you are able to think, all right, I'm going to make a grocery list. What do we want to eat for the week? Let's kind of map it out. I'm one of those big meal preppers. I like to cook big batches of food and kind of plan it out for the week. And it makes it so much easier on me physically, that I'm not cooking every single day, mentally, that I know it's done, it's taken care of. I don't have to worry about that at the end of the day. And it also creates this expectation. It's made, I'm going to eat it, rather than going against something or just grabbing lunch out somewhere. So I think if you're wanting to start somewhere, it's really helpful to think of those in small steps. What can I do? Stay clear of something that might be a quick fix, something that is restrictive, and start thinking of it as in the big picture of how can I plan? How can I create some type of map that'll lead me towards my goals? And that can be a goal of the week. It can be bringing an extra water bottle to work, having an apple in the car just for those, long drives home or something like that, instead of getting hangry.
I was just going to say, when is she going to say hangry? Because
it is me. I've been there. Oh my gosh, it's a common phrase in my house. If
I
I'm
was just
busy
thinking,
doing
making decisions when hangry often don't go well, right?
something. No.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I like that too, that if you've invested the time and materials and money possibly too, ahead of time, you're not going to want to waste what you've already invested, and it makes that decision much easier to just.
Well, guys, I'm reminded of our conversation from last week too, that, I think, what do you think, Christina, about so let's say that you do have that crazy busy day
Yeah.
and you're like, forget it. I'm getting a pizza tonight because I can't. And then after you eat the pizza, you go, okay, well, forget it. Like that just totally went out the window, what I was trying to do. So what do you say to that person who's like, you know what, I can't do this.
I think pizza's awesome. Yeah. And it could be something as eating a whole pizza versus like getting a salad from there and having 2 slices of pizza. You know, life is about balance. And if you restrict yourself, you're less likely to be mad and angry and upset and fall into this spiral of like, well, my day's over, my week's over. We'll just start it next month.
Yeah. 2022. Let's start back then.
Right. But think of it like a car. If you, all right, so if you only have $5, but you need a full tank of gas, are you just not going to get gas? Or are you just going to put in $5? You know, you use what you have, and that'll kind of get you what you're doing. It's not going to say, oh, we'll just wait till we run out. We're just going to wait till the very end of something. It's fine. If you restrict yourself and say, I can never have birthday cake at my friend's birthday party, you're going to somehow punish yourself and feel bad and may end up swinging far the other way later on, rather than just eat it, enjoy it while you're there, and forget about it. Just move on, and everything else is fine. I think it's really important
to that balance thing.
Balance and forgiveness. It's
yeah. Which is hard to tolerate sometimes for people, understandably, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it or try.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be the end of the effort.
You
know, it's just a moment, and then moving on.
I wonder, you know, while you were talking about planning, I was thinking about cost. I was thinking about children, for anybody who's watching. You know, I was actually curious, Christina, you know, when thinking about what you do in your household, that my kids do not eat. I swore I was going to be one of those parents that you're eating what I eat. It just didn't work out that way. But so my question was, you know, do you find that, or do you have an answer to anybody who might be saying that eating nutritiously is either cost prohibitive or prohibitive in other ways? And do you have any, is that true? Do you have any suggestions beyond what you've already said?
Yeah, I think people assume that if you're eating nutritious, it has to be the best quality of everything. It has to be organic. The meat has to be grass-fed. Everything has to be local. And it doesn't have to be. Food quality is important, but that can't be the limiting factor for you. I know, Sarah, we've, you know, talked about this when it comes to like snack foods. And there's these Go-Gurts, and they're super easy, and the kids eat them and they're fast on the go. But there's probably more sugar in there than protein. So what's the cost of that, and what is the goal for your, you know, for your child to have that snack? If it's a quick thing on the go, that could work for you. If it's something that's like, oh my gosh, my kids just want to eat. My son, he's the carb king. He will eat pasta for breakfast. So what ways can we sneak in protein? And my daughter's the exact opposite. So last night, right.
It's Murphy's Law, right?
Yes. So it tends to balance, where she had, you know, a piece of chicken with a side of pasta, and he had pasta with a side of chicken. So it's just something that it's a little bit of what they both want, but it's also a little bit of what their body needs. So with that, I have the chicken already prepped for me and my husband, and that's what we're eating that night. And they'll eat a little bit of that, but knowing if you just put something they don't like on the plate, you can't force them to eat it, but giving them the option. If he's really into snacks, which he is, just having the idea of lots of fresh fruit. We have,
Mhm.
I call it hand fruit. So
Mhm.
bananas, apples, like
Mhm.
peaches, something he can just grab. And
Mhm.
that's an
Mhm.
idea of an option there rather than
Mhm.
having that bowl full of cookies.
Mhm.
He's going
Mhm.
to eat something. He just wants something that he can grab and go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kids can make it difficult. We've actually had some fun try it nights where it's just take a bite of like just different things.
That's fun.
It's
Mm.
just an idea of what they
Mhm.
might like to eat, something new. You know, you have to have things on there that they do like,
Mhm.
so they can have a mix of things. So
That's great.
giving them options, and that can go for adults too.
Yeah.
Just
We should
trying
have
something
try
new.
it night.
Yeah.
That's great.
But as long as there's something that you know is within your financial budget, it doesn't have to break the bank in terms of going overboard on quality, thinking I'm going to be healthy. It needs to be
Mhm.
top of the line. It needs to work for you.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's not going to work for you.
Mhm. Right. Right. And don't you feel like we could have a whole other episode just on kids and eating?
Yes.
To be continued.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, Christina, thank you so much for coming on. Again, another topic that we could spend a great deal more amount of time discussing, but the takeaway here is nutrition is important, not just for your physical health, which is often where people are aiming to address it, but it's also very important for your mental health and whatever steps you need to take. We've talked about a few things here, but perhaps even consulting with your doctor or a nutritionist if you feel like you need some additional support with that. So thank you again for coming on today. Next week, I think this is our first repeat guest, right? Coming on next week.
Yep.
Pretty awesome. Well, I'm excited that he's coming back, but it's pretty cool that we've had so many topics that we've had different guests each week. So Tim Davis, Tim, if you're watching, we're excited for you to come back. Tim is the Southborough Recreation Director. We had him on back over the summer. I don't even know when it was, August,
Wow,
a while ago.
a long time ago.
Yeah. So we're inviting Tim to come back to update us on how things are going in Southborough Recreation and also to talk about staying active during the winter months. We were commiserating before the start of the show today about how we half expect in the wintertime to be like tromping through snow or snow related activities here in New England. And we don't have a lot of snow on the ground, but we're still going to talk about snow related activities regardless. And we hope that you'll join us next Tuesday. So that is, I'm not doing the math quickly, the 19th? Yes. The 19th, Tuesday the 19th, Tim Davis of Southborough Recreation will be joining us, and we hope to see you then. Thanks, everybody.